What's good, people? It's Rebel Link for NextGenWalkthroughs.com, and we are bringing you Yakuza 3, the guide on hard difficulty. And before we actually get into the game, I wanted to do this intro guide to kind of talk about what this game is and what it's all about, because there's not a lot of information online, and the information that is out there doesn't really reveal a lot about what this game is. There is a playable demo on PS3 or PSN Network. If you haven't checked it out yet, definitely recommend checking it out before picking up the game. Make sure you like it. One of the things that I like that the demo does is it emphasizes the best part of this game, and that is the combat. If you ever played Final Fight before or Streets of Rage, kind of think of that, but a more advanced version and a more cleaned up combat system. I'm not sure what engine they use. I'm pretty sure it's their own, but I gotta say it's really well done, and for what it is, it operates pretty smoothly. I would venture to say. So it is similar to GTA, and that's kind of like the thing that's going around the internet, that it's a GTA game. It's similar in that you're third person and you're playing kind of in a sandbox, but not as open as GTA, where GTA is literally you can go, pretty much anywhere across cities. Yakuza really emphasizes on just the towns within the city, so you're not going to actually be exploring all of Tokyo. You're going to be exploring a specific area in Tokyo. There's a name for it, but I don't feel like trying to pronounce it because it's pretty tough. Same thing with Okinawa. You're going to spend some time in Okinawa, but not necessarily Okinawa. It's like an island in Okinawa. I'm not sure. But anyways, the game itself is it emphasizes on the battle system. It does it really well. While you're not battling, you're walking around town, and you're kind of doing these side missions, which are very neat. They're very different. They're not repetitive. Some of them you have to do, again, kind of like the dating thing, but they change it up so much that you never lose interest in doing all the side missions. My first playthrough took me 62 hours to play, and I completed, I think, 64 of the submissions, the sub-stories, that's what they call them. And, there's 101 of them. So, just to set the premise, I don't think I'm going to be completing them all because, A, there aren't enough online guides that are good enough to describe where all the sub-stories are at. There's a pretty good one on IGN.com, but it's of the Japanese version. And one of the things, unfortunately, the Japanese game version, they change up the names on a lot of things. So even the sub-story name is different from the US version. Not all of them, but some of them, and obviously that just makes for a very confusing experience. And B, is just really time consuming. And you could beat this game without having complete all those sub-stories, but it does help a lot because you get all that experience in one. However, for all you aspiring guide makers or already guide makers, if you have this game and you go to NextGenWalkthroughs.com and see, you look at the list of the sub-stories that I've completed, and you want to contribute sub-stories I haven't completed, you're more than welcome to contact us and say, hey, I came across this, recorded it, did a voiceover, and wanted to submit it, and I'm 99% sure Beer Brand will have no problem posting that to the site. That way we have we try and complete that sub-story list. So with that said, one of the main reasons I wanted to make this intro guide is to also talk about the in-game menu and kind of go over what some of the things you're going to be looking at throughout the game, because you're going to be spending a ton of time in that in-game menu, unfortunately. And when I first started playing this game, it was really confusing on what the game wanted out of you, and especially looking into the menu, just kind of combing through some of the items in there. It really doesn't explain a lot, so I want to jump in and kind of go over quickly what those are and how a lot of it's going to be utilized much later in the game. So let's take a look at it here. Alright, so this is the in-game menu. That's the game itself, obviously. And so coming back here, You can see items, maps, upgrades, blah blah blah. But if you start at the very top, that orange bar is your health. And the bar below it gauges your heat. That's what once it's filled up, you're allowed to use your special abilities. And above that, where it has the triple zeros, that's where you gain your experience. So every time you fill up that bar, you get 1 experience. And then with the experience, you could use that to upgrade all your moves, right? Top right is your money, obviously, and obviously right in front of you is the map itself. Most of this is self-explanatory, but let me kind of go in some of the selectable items here. So with the items, obviously I don't have any items yet. This is a fresh start, but this is where you're going to be saving all of your health, some of the things you find, weapons, that type of thing. And these 3 slots are especially designated for your weapons, and they're also designated on your D-pad as well. Make them accessible real easily in combat. Below that, these will be like the items that you wear to enhance your abilities, or you wear jackets, shoes, that type of thing. But more importantly, you're going to be getting a lot of items in the very beginning of this game. You're not going to have any clue what the hell it's for, but you definitely want to hold on to it. And when you're at the orphanage, because you're going to spend a lot of time there in the beginning of the game, anything you find, go to the orphanage, go to your room, and transfer all those items into what they call your home base. But everything you transfer into your home base is unlimited, so you can put as much stuff as you want or as many things as you find. What you have on you is limited, so as you can see, there's 4x5, 20 slots to the right. That's as much stuff as you can carry on you. So you're going to be throughout the game, you're going to be doing a lot of trips to these phone booths, where you're going to be moving a lot of items back to your home base, whatever. So keep that in mind. Anything you find, just move into your home base. The map is pretty self-explanatory, but the one thing I did want to show you is if you actually maneuver around the map, it will give you the names of the streets. The colored items are buildings that you can actually go into. Some of them are only accessible at night. Some of them are only accessible during the day. But you're going to be giving a lot of instructions on go to this place, and whatnot. And your map is something you're going to become really, really familiar with, and knowing or finding out where certain places are. And if they give you a specific place and you don't want to look all over the map, just hit triangle, and it has this deal to the left that I'll show you in the map where these places are at. So definitely do that, because I didn't realize I could use this map this way for a while. Upgrades, just as I mentioned, if you look at where it says stock all the way to the right, you have your triple zeros. If you had 2 in that, then you can level up any of these 4 items: soul, tech, and body, essence. Soul and body are what soul increases your health overall, and body increases your heat ability overall, and the tech and essence kind of help you learn more abilities. But this is actually pretty self-explanatory, and if you hit triangle, you'll see all your abilities listed out as you unlock them. Emails, you will get emails, especially from Mac. Those are the ones to pay attention to. But for the most part, you're not going to get a ton of them, not like GTA, for example. Character file. This, if you're going to run into a lot of people, and if you forget who you met, or not paying attention, or you just falling asleep with the story, and you have to go meet a key person, then this is the easiest way to find out who you're supposed to actually meet and where they're at, or where they're generally at. Sub-stories, where it says Premium Adventure, I'm in a different type of mode once you beat the game. But that top part is going to reveal what your main mission is. Your sub-story, again, there's 101 of these, will reveal your sub-stories, and sometimes it'll tell you what you're supposed to do next if you're lost. Word to the wise, some of the sub-stories you're going to start don't finish until nighttime or much later in the game. and the game will not tell you. It's kind of frustrating that it does it that way, but whatever. That's why I'm here to kind of go over, those sub stories and which ones will be realized at night and whatnot. Same thing with the Hitman missions. You won't run into these until chapter 6, I think. But there's 20 of them, and I'm going to be trying to do all of them for you. Completion rate. If you're curious on how far along you are, then obviously this is a good way to see all the things, see your progression. If you're a completionist, there's 619 items to do, and it is maddening that you're going to spend at least over 100 hours trying to do all that if you care about that thing. And obviously you have your options. One of the things I would do is obviously turn on the subtitles unless you speak Japanese. Turn on event skipping. I don't know why this is an option, but for whatever reason, if you find that you cannot skip cutscenes, this is why. And then minimap, I keep it on rotating. That's kind of like the GTA style, because the style that they have it in to begin with, they start you, or the default is really, really confusing because only your person rotate, the map doesn't. So on that, it's pretty self-explanatory, but the reason I wanted to show it to you is early in the game you're not going to be really using your in-game menu, but you're going to be looking at it a lot, wondering what the hell all this stuff is for. And for the first, I would say 8 to 10 hours, you're not going to be doing a lot. You're going to be doing really simple tasks, and again, that's kind of Japanese philosophy, I guess. And for those of you who are used to playing Japanese games or Japanese RPG, you're used to kind of that design philosophy where they introduce things very slowly, and I guess they expect you to be super patient. But this game gets really good after that first 8 to 10 hours. Before that, it's really boring. The story itself is not bad. It's a really good story if you care to pay attention to it. But otherwise, it's the fun part is the meat of it, and the whole battle system and upgrading those abilities and whatnot. So that said, I know this went a little longer than I anticipated, but I did feel that it was important to kind of talk to you about Yakuza. And at least what it offers. And some of the first videos will be getting into the actual mission, and I will designate if it is a mission or sub-story or something different. So just be sure to pay attention to the title, otherwise you're going to be entirely lost. And of course, more importantly, go to nextgenwalkthroughs.com, and that's where all of these videos are going to be very organized. So that said, I'll see you guys in the first video. Peace.